I want to begin with a question that settles deep in your mind from the very first second. Have you ever watched someone light up simply because you noticed something about them that nobody else ever cared to see? That moment when their eyes soften a little, when their shoulders relax, when something inside them whispers, "I matter." This is where everything begins, this quiet pulse inside every human being, the longing to feel important. Dale Carnegie understood this truth long before most modern psychology existed. He watched it unfold in factory floors, hotel lobbies, tiny offices, and crowded streets. He saw that people rise like the sun when they feel valued, and they shrink when they feel invisible. And if you desire influence, trust, connection, or leadership, you must learn the art that fuels all human relationships, the art of making people feel important. I once met a young man working a night shift at a small ticket booth in a deserted station. Most travelers barely looked at him. He simply scanned tickets, handed out slips, and repeated the same dull script. One night, a woman approached the booth and said something strangely simple. She said, "I always notice how patient you are with people. You never rush anyone, and I respect that." The young man froze as if no one had spoken to the real him in years. He stood a little taller. He smiled without hesitation. For the rest of that shift, his tone changed. Every traveler felt the warmth he now carried inside. That one moment transformed him because someone saw his worth. Dale Carnegie teaches that if you want to be welcomed rather than tolerated, start by noticing what others overlook. People bloom when you identify their strengths, not flattery, not manipulation. Truth, genuine attention that says, "I see you." I once asked a manager how he earned such loyalty from his staff. He said, "I do not search for mistakes. I search for qualities. Everyone has at least one. My job is to announce it out loud." That is how people begin to believe in themselves. Carnegie would have nodded with approval. People crave appreciation the way lungs crave air. Yet the world has become fast, cold, mechanical. People rush from one task to the next, never pausing to acknowledge the human beings who make their lives easier. The barista, the cleaner, the first-year colleague who is terrified of making mistakes, the older relative who feels forgotten. Each one holds a silent wish. Let someone see me today. If you want lasting influence, begin there. Begin with awareness. Consider this simple practice. Before speaking to anyone, ask yourself, what is one thing about this person that deserves to be recognized? Their effort, their patience, their consistency, their quiet responsibility, their generosity, their creativity, their sense of humor, their courage to keep going through a difficult season. Mention it. Say it out loud. Watch their energy transform. Dale Carnegie built an entire philosophy around this simple truth. People work harder for those who appreciate them. People open up to those who respect them. People remember those who acknowledge their dignity. When you make someone feel important, you do not steal the spotlight. You create a new source of light that shines back on you. And this is only the beginning. In the next part, we go deeper into psychology and the subtle techniques capable of building lifelong rapport and trust in any environment. Techniques that turn strangers into allies and allies into loyal friends.
Motivational. There is a powerful moment in every meaningful connection. A moment when the other person silently thinks, "I feel safe here." This sense of safety does not come from status, wealth, or charm. It comes from something far simpler: your ability to listen without rushing, without judging, without waiting for your turn to speak. Carnegie said that the deepest hunger of the human heart is to be heard. Let me take you into a small story that shows exactly why. A young woman once attended a gathering filled with professionals. Everyone spoke about achievements, goals, strategies. But one man simply listened. He asked thoughtful questions. He leaned in. He gave his full attention as if the person speaking was the most important soul in the room. After the event, the young woman said, "That man was the most interesting person I met tonight, yet he barely talked about himself." The truth is, he became interesting by making others feel interesting. This is the essence of Carnegie-style communication. The spotlight is not on you. It is on the other person. And because the spotlight is warm, they begin to associate that warmth with you. Another powerful technique is recognizing effort, not success. Anyone can praise victories, but to notice effort shows deeper understanding. Once a student told her mentor, "I feel like nothing I do is enough." The mentor said, "I see your dedication even on days when the results are slow. Your commitment is your strength." Instantly, the student felt valued because someone acknowledged what she thought was invisible. When people feel important, they stop protecting themselves. They open their minds. They relax. They trust. This trust becomes the foundation of deep personal and professional bonds. You can create this effect with small actions. Maintain eye contact at a level that feels natural. Nod to show understanding. Use their name with sincerity. Ask follow-up questions that reflect genuine curiosity. This is not a script. This is human psychology. When you give presence, you build influence. Carnegie believed that strong relationships grow from emotional deposits. You add to a person's emotional bank account by treating them with dignity, by appreciating their qualities, by remembering details about their life, by celebrating their small wins. These acts may seem minor, but they shape how someone feels around you. There is a powerful example from a teacher who greeted every student at the door with a few seconds of personal acknowledgement. She would say, "I love how organized you are today," or "Your energy is great this morning." Attendance improved, grades improved, confidence improved, because she gave what society often withholds: recognition. Human beings are emotional creatures, guided more by feeling than logic. When a person feels important, they listen, they follow, they connect, they support, they stay loyal. You cannot buy this with authority. You earn it with humanity. In the final part, we explore the advanced techniques that Carnegie used to influence leaders, presidents, business owners, and ordinary people. Techniques that turn appreciation into lasting impact.
Motivational. There is a moment in every powerful connection when appreciation evolves into something deeper. It turns into inspiration. People not only feel important, they feel capable of becoming even more. Dale Carnegie mastered this art by guiding people to see a better version of themselves. Imagine a quiet worker in an office who feels stuck. He shows up every day, follows instructions, keeps his head low. One day, his supervisor tells him, "I believe you have leadership potential. Your calm approach sets the tone for the entire team." That single sentence shifts his identity. He begins to see himself differently. This is the highest level of influence, to help people rise in their own eyes. Carnegie said that if you want to win the hearts of people, you must give them a reputation to live up to. Not pressure, not unrealistic demands. A gentle, guiding vision, a reflection of their potential. This kind of encouragement can transform families, teams, friendships, and relationships. Another powerful technique is giving people a sense of ownership. Ask for their opinion. Ask for their ideas. Ask for their perspective. When you show that their insight matters, you elevate their confidence. A person who feels heard becomes a person who feels important. And a person who feels important becomes a person who brings out the best in others. I once met a business owner who built his entire company culture around this principle. He said, "I treat my employees as partners. I ask what they think, how they would solve problems, what improvements they envision. When they feel involved, they feel valued. And when they feel valued, they give their best." This is how loyalty is built, not through control, not through authority, through connection. Carnegie taught that people yearn for dignity more than praise. When someone disagrees, treat them with respect. When someone struggles, support them without making them feel small. When someone hesitates, guide them without judgment. This approach creates emotional safety, and emotional safety creates long-term influence. Let me leave you with a final story. A young girl once struggled to speak in front of her class. Her voice trembled and her hands shook. After class, a teacher approached her and said, "You spoke with courage today. Most people never reach that level of bravery." The girl carried those words for years. She later said, "That sentence changed the direction of my entire life." She felt important. She felt seen. And that feeling became fuel. The truth is simple. People never forget how you make them feel. They never forget the one person who believed in them. They never forget the moment someone looked at them and saw value where others saw nothing. This is how you build trust. This is how you build influence. This is how you build lasting relationships. If you understand this truth, you understand the heart of Dale Carnegie. Make people feel important, not with empty praise, not with sweet words, with genuine recognition, with presence, with real listening, with belief in their potential. Do this and you will change every room you enter, every relationship you build, and every life you touch.